what's truly telling, you know? Even Cointelegraph, a publication that has been largely hostile of XRP for almost 10 years, is beginning to post articles that are positive about the cryptocurrency. However, their coverage has completely changed, and to be honest, it's rather amazing. Take a look at their most recent headline. Will the price of XRP hit $20? According to these indicators, the complete bull phase is still to come. That's a significant change from their typical position, I must say. But don't get me wrong, they have recently released some skeptic pieces, which I have rightly criticized on the channel, particularly during the 6-month period of consolidation. Here's what makes the entire scenario amusing though. Looking at their dollar charts, the majority of other cryptocurrencies weren't even managing the sideways movement that XRP was seeing, which is actually a good consolidation. In actuality, the majority of those other coins were, to varied degrees, moving lower. Nevertheless, Crypto Magazine somehow managed to publish pieces that made people nervous by implying that XRP was going to crash. That didn't make sense at the time, as we all knew. Come on, it was very clear that it was off base. And now, after several months, guess what? We were entirely correct. Our analysis has been fully validated once more. Just the other day, XRP surged to a new all-time high of $3.65, demonstrating how quickly it has taken off. We are currently in a whole new phase of price discovery. I'm thrilled to provide to you the opinions of 9 distinct XRP chart analysts. And believe me, there is broad agreement. Officially, the liftoff phase has begun. Price discovery looks like this, and it's really amazing to see. I should now point out that XRP is currently hanging very near to that all-time high as I record this. The problem is though, it won't just sit there indefinitely. I don't think it will remain at current levels for very long. To be honest, you shouldn't be surprised if XRP breaks into the double digits. We might have to pay $15 or perhaps $20. Just keep in mind that I said it was possible if that occurs. However, I want to be absolutely honest with you before we go any farther. I have no official financial training at all, and I'm not giving financial advice here at all. Please don't use anything I share to decide whether to purchase or sell. That is very crucial. I'm only a cryptocurrency fan that enjoys creating YouTube videos about the subject as a pastime. I honestly enjoy it, and I hope you find it educational as well. Given that XRP is currently trading at $3.42, is $20 really too absurd to consider? Not really, in fact. I'm not positive it will occur. No one can foresee the future. Allow me to show you something of great interest. There is an important point at the top of this piece that is worth emphasizing, but I won't read it all. In fact, I was just discussing it the other day. Dom, a well-known cryptocurrency analyst, discovered an extremely intriguing discovery. He said that although XRP reached those remarkable multi-year highs on Friday, other significant indicators haven't yet indicated that we're in full bull mode. This is what I found interesting. He is examining XRP's market share, or more specifically, the XRP dominance chart, which indicates that we are currently at a weekly resistance level of about 5.5%. But take note, XRP has been stalled by this same barrier for more over 2,200 days. More than 6 years had passed. This is exactly what I talked about yesterday, and this is the real reason it's so thrilling. The dominance chart for XRP is still in its early stages of development. It continues to encounter that resistance, but consider the implications of this. The price of XRP has already surged against the US dollar, and we're reaching these incredible heights. However, the dominance chart is still pending. We've come this far before the supremacy has even begun to truly take hold. Do you want to know what will be truly amazing if this comes to pass? Here we are discussing some quite astounding price movement. I mean, what happens is going to leave people in full shock. This has simply enormous potential. The truly exciting portion comes next. Dom revealed a crucial finding from his research. He claimed that in the past, once XRP domination broke over the existing resistance, a 2x occurred soon after. Take a moment to consider that. XRP has doubled each time this specific resistance level has been breached in the past, and he's projecting something very extraordinary based on that historical pattern. He clarified that, depending on how much the rest of the market moves, if history repeats itself with a good break, this would put us close to a target of $7 to $10. Here's why this is so important for the larger market. What 12% of XRP actually implies in terms of dollars relies entirely on the size of the market as a whole, doesn't it? Therefore, if we consider the present market capitalization, which is approximately 3.8 trillion, 12% of that is clearly far less than if we had a market capitalization of 7.6 trillion, which would essentially quadruple everything. The wonderful part is that everyone benefits as the entire market capitalization rises, even if the percentage of XRP remains precisely the same. The worst part is that things won't remain the same. That's simply not how these cycles operate historically. That's precisely why the current state of affairs is so thrilling. In fact, we are at one of those turning points. This IT developer, who works as a chart analyst, just shared something amazing with his 536,000 followers on X. He only stated that liftoff had started and that every base was always longer. And to be honest, I think he's exactly right. The whole cryptocurrency market is on the verge of blowing apart. I mean, it's actually happening at the moment. This is what I'm wagering on. XRP will continue to dominate it. Let's be honest, I mean, since the election, XRP has already outperformed the other 100 leading coins. It's more than simply luck. Momentum is that streak will continue, in my opinion. Yes, I'm investing in XRP in order to stay at the top of the pack, or very near to it, even though everything else is going to start going insane. In any case, that's where I'm betting. Check this out, then. This ETH versus BTC chart was just released by a crypto analyst and wizard. Everyone is talking about it. He referred to it as the bat signal and claimed that it essentially sounds the alarm. With what he describes as a strong bullish breakout, the 200-day EMA on ETH against Bitcoin was just regained. His opinion, altcoins are going to have a fantastic few weeks. Don't ruin Bitcoin's fun. And that's always the big question, isn't it, man? I've always joked that you might as well start again and discard all of your altcoin analysis, if Bitcoin even sneezes. The chart guys understand what I mean. Everything else falls apart with only one Bitcoin glitch. Yes, if Bitcoin decides to decline in the near future, which is entirely feasible, yes, that would undoubtedly cause problems for the time frame. Here's the problem though. Here's another analyst who understands. Now is the time for everything to really start to go crazy. Do you understand? We've been waiting for this exact moment, and that's why it's so crucial. Look, this matters even if you're completely focused on XRP and don't give a damn about ETH. The similar trend will emerge with XRP when Ethereum begins to take off, which is precisely what is occurring here when it overtakes Bitcoin. Simply wait till we return to examine these charts. In particular, the XRP versus BTC chart looks really amazing already, so I'm going to be thrilled to show you all of them. I mean, just look at everything starting in November. The amount of ground XRP has gained over Bitcoin is absolutely absurd. The problem is this, I definitely called this. Do you recall how, just prior to the election, XRP was trading at all-time lows compared to Bitcoin? Oh, it's low, said all the skeptics. Thus it will simply continue to fall. However, I went back and demonstrated to everyone that XRP consistently reached those levels in comparison to Bitcoin. A huge pump was the next thing that happened. It's really not that difficult. It's interesting how history repeats itself, isn't it? What do you know too? XRP surged once more, like it always does. At this precise moment, it is entirely reasonable for XRP to have its second significant pump of the cycle. The best part is that it's already taking place. We are no longer idly pondering hypothetical scenarios. Folks, it's really already underway. It won't be a perfect straight line up, of course. Nothing ever is. But to be honest, I'm perfectly okay with it ending sooner than we anticipate. I mean, I'd be happy to accept the wealth that could change my life. That's something I'm eagerly awaiting. But here's the crazy part. In comparison to what I initially paid, everything I've invested in cryptocurrency, particularly XRP, is worth a lot. And I really didn't do anything special with my strategy. I simply waited after purchasing it. Simply purchase and hold. No stress, no intricate trading, and no frequent chart checking. The simplest solution is sometimes the best one. I didn't have to purchase a pricey course, or spend months learning wave analysis, trading, or calculating Fibonacci levels, which incidentally, I'm very certain is just the name of a great Italian restaurant. It's actually pretty fun to see what people are thinking, and yes, you do pick up some knowledge by hanging around. But the thing is that you don't need to become an analyst yourself. I mean, I have no idea what half of that stuff means, and guess what? You don't need to know any of it, either. I've learned a few things over the years simply by following a lot of charts.